It is an election, big election coming up. It's an election year. So what would you do if you're president for a day? What's your first action in office?
What would be the first thing that I would do?
It's a goodie.
That's a tricky question. Can I come back to that?
Sure, you can come back to it. All right, you can come back to it. I like that. It means he's being thoughtful about the game, the big three. Okay, how about this one? If you could have the like the superhero power of changing events of the future or changing events of the past, which way would you go?
I would certainly go to the past.
Right?
I think the future is, I think that's one of the great exciting moments of each day as you wake up and you don't know what's coming. But but there's certainly in my life, and I would think in everybody's, there's moments that you would like to fix.
Do-overs.
Yeah, and sometimes they're not as simple as one thing. I had my grandfather was someone who was very close to me, and I was very close to him. Truly one of the great impressive people I've known in my lifetime, and I would have loved to have been able to realize our time was going to be as limited as it was, and maybe have spent a little more time with him. So yeah, that would be my do-over.
My do-over too. My grandpa lived with us now as well.
Yeah.
My best friend.
Yeah.
All right, we'll give you a fun one to sort of loosen you up for the president for a day.
Okay.
Give us your greatest, this puts a lot of pressure on them. Give us any of your hidden talents. Do you have a hidden talent? Something we don't know about?
I don't know if you don't know about it. One of the things that I used to do a lot to relax was I used to rodeo. I used to do...
Are you serious?
Yep. I used to do team roping, and I rodeoed within the U.S. Team Roping Championships, and I went to their national finals in '94 and '96.
I live next to, I live next to one of the oldest rodeos in America. I'm from Lake Luzerne, New York. I might have seen your rodeo.
Yeah. I did most of my stuff out west. I would run a circuit from kind of Midland, Texas. That was as far east as I would go, all the way to all the way to California. It was my I started work at a very young age, and so I did not have the university experience.
Right.
And I had a bunch of friends that were cowboys, and I had a small farm up in Montana and then ultimately in the central coast of California. And my university experience was going around with 2 or 3 different cowboys, riding from town to town to town. And it was our great road trip, but it would last for 6 months. And
the University of Yeehaw!
The University of Yeehaw. Yeah.
Did you ever win any of those big cool belts? Did you ever bring home one of those big belt buckles?
There's a joke. I won a few rodeos. The first one I won was Arizona, Phoenix, and a couple friends of mine joked that was the most expensive belt buckle ever, between the horses, the pickup truck, the farm, the cattle, everything else, the training. It was
probably could have gotten it a little cheaper.
Yeah.
All right, so pressure's on. President for a day.
President for a day. In a serious way, I would have, my main focus on the very first day would be to address the education system in the United States.
That subsequently fixes everything else.
Well, it does, and I just, one of the great things about this country is that there is opportunity, and that opportunity is supposed to be equal. And unfortunately, what we see in the United States now is that some kids are having a much better opportunity with regards to education. And if we pride ourselves on an even playing field, which we do and we should, I think that's something that we have to address. And on a kind of more fun note, I think, well, I would try and work in a day off for everybody somewhere. And maybe a very large barbecue.
National Barbecue Day!
National Barbecue Day.
Kiefer for president. That is a platform I personally can get behind. Now, if that doesn't make you watch, you're just un-American people. So Touch airs Thursdays at 9 p.m. on Fox. Isn't he delightful? Kiefer Sutherland, thank you so much.